A 2017 question on algebra. It was question 12 on paper 1 that year. Factorize n squared minus 11n plus 18. So again, 4 types of factorization. Difference of 2 squares. It's not that because that has 2 terms. It's not grouping because that has 4 terms. It is a quadratic. Okay, even though a quadratic is normally an squared plus, ax squared plus bx plus c, okay, the letter doesn't matter. So it's perfectly okay to go an squared plus bn plus c, or a p squared plus bp plus c. Okay, you're just looking for a squared term, not a squared term, and a number on its own. Okay, so it is a quadratic. Okay, so again, a guide number. Okay, and the guide number here, there's no number in front of x squared, so we take plus 18 and we write out its factors. Okay, so plus 18 plus 1 minus 18 minus 1 plus 9 plus 2 minus 9 minus 2. Okay, so you can see I always sort out my signs out here as well. Plus 6, 6, 12, 18, minus 6, minus 3. Okay, so they're all the factors of 18. So why am I doing that? Well, when I'm factorizing a quadratic, what happens is this n squared breaks into its factors here and here at the start. So that would break into n and n. Okay, and then the factors of 18 break into its factors and they go here on the right hand side of the brackets. Okay, but you can see I have many options for the factors of 18, which is the right pair to take for this quadratic. Well, it's the pair that gives me the minus 11 in the middle. So I have to add one row here together to give me minus 11. Okay, so what you do then is you put your minus 9 there and your minus 2. So let me just write it out again. N minus 9, n minus 2 is the factors of that. Okay, so that was that one done. Factorize fully. wy minus 1 plus w. Okay, so this is a grouping. I know that from the 4 terms. Okay, and still a factorizing. Okay, so it doesn't matter which ones you group. I could group these two together. I can see there's a y common. If I group these two together, all that's common really is the number 1. Okay, or I could write it as wy plus w, for example, minus y minus 1. So I've literally just swapped around the order of the parts, and I see w is common there, but again, just 1 is common there. So it doesn't matter which groups you take, and you can do it both ways if you want to prove that to yourself. Okay, I'm just going to take it as the way it's written. So y is common there, so take that y outside, what's left over? So there's the w left over in that one, minus, and then just 1. Okay, don't forget the 1. Because remember what you have to do. You have to be able to multiply these by each other and then get this as your answer. Okay, so y by w is yw. And if you did this, which some people do in error, okay, what would end up happening is you will get the yw, but you won't get the y by the minus 1, which is minus y. You won't get it here. Okay, so you won't get back to wy minus y. You will here, you won't here. Okay, now, and then we take the next pairing together, the minus 1 and the plus, the minus 1 and the plus w. So I'm going to take minus 1 outside first. Okay, so I'm doing this incorrectly now, okay, just in case you've done something different. I'm doing it incorrectly to show you how to figure out how to fix it if you do it wrong. Okay, so I'm taking the minus 1 outside, so minus 1 by 1 will give me my minus 1. Minus 1 by what gives me plus w though? Well, I need another minus w. Okay, and why did I need that other minus? Because minus by minus has to give me that plus. Okay, so you've got to get your signs right. Okay, now remember what we want. We want the brackets to be the same. Okay, so they're nearly the same. I have the right terms. I have the 1 and the 1. I have the w and the w. Okay, but they're the wrong signs. I have a minus w here. I have a plus w here. I have a minus 1 here and I have a plus 1 here. So how do I fix that? Like, how do I change that? Well, when that happens, when both of these terms have the wrong sign, it means you took the wrong sign here. Okay, so I'm just going to put a light line through that. This bit was fine. Okay, now I'm going to take plus 1 outside. Okay, and what you'll see is that when you change this sign here, you end up changing this sign and this sign. Okay, it all changes signs. Okay, so if I take plus 1 outside, what do I need to multiply it by to give me minus 1? Well, I need to multiply it by minus 1. Okay, I have plus 1 taken outside. What do I need to multiply it by to give me w? Well, plus w. Okay, and now look at it. I have my plus w, I have my minus 1, all's good. And it doesn't matter that they're written in the opposite order. It doesn't matter at all because minus 2 plus 3 is the exact same as 3 minus 2. Okay, so then the 2 on the outside go into their own bracket. So y plus 1, and then you just write down the inner bracket ones, whichever version of it you prefer. Okay, so that's that one. So in higher level, they like to examine your signs in this way. So look out for that in higher level. In ordinary level, this also comes up. All of these comes up in ordinary level, but it tends to be a little bit more straightforward on signs. Okay, so then part C, find the value of this equation when x is 4. Okay, so if you had to simplify this, you would have to get a common denominator. You don't have to here when you're just plugging in or substituting in the value 4. Okay, so you're just subbing in x is equal to 4. Okay, so that you get 5 over 3 times 4 minus 2 minus 7 over 6 times 4 minus 12. Okay, when you've got a number and a letter up against each other like that, it means multiply. So this is the easiest way to write multiply. Of course, you can put it into your calculator in all one go there, or you can simplify it a bit. 3 4s are 12, minus 2 is 10. You get no more marks, by the way, for this working out. 6 4s 24, minus 12 is 12. Okay, and now I have to get a common denominator and stuff, or use my calculator. And I am getting minus a 12th for that. Okay, so that was part C. I can see there's more in this question because I have an arrow here. So the second or the last part of it said, use factorization to simplify 4e squared minus 9 over 2e squared plus 3e minus 9. So this is a real typical way for junior cert higher level of examining factorization, and it looks an awful lot worse than it is. So the key to it is to take the top line, which is 4e squared minus 9, and let's factorize it. It said use factorizing. Okay, so again, this isn't a quadratic. It doesn't have 3 terms. It's not grouping. It doesn't have 4 terms. So it's either take out the highest common factor or it's the difference of 2 squares. Okay, so look back on earlier recordings if you need more help with difference of 2 squares. The 2019 question had one, and you will see that 4 is a perfect square number. So we write it like that. Okay, it's what squared gives me 4e squared minus what squared gives me 9. Okay, and the formula for this one then is 2e minus 3, 2e plus 3. Okay, the bits that's in the center of the brackets, you plus one bracket, you minus the other bracket. And of course, it doesn't matter which bracket is the plus here and which bracket is the minus. Okay, so then we look at the bottom line. 2e squared plus 3e minus 9. Okay, so this is a quadratic. The easiest way of getting the guide number is a by c. Okay, so minus 18 for my guide number and the factors of that. So I have minus 18 plus 1 plus 18 minus 1. I have 9 2s. I have 6 3s. Okay, and they are all the different options that gives me minus 18. Okay, which is the right one for this quadratic? It's the row that when I add gives me plus 3. So it is plus 6 minus 3. Okay, when there's a number in front of e squared, then you tend to do it by grouping. So 2e squared, instead of this plus 3e, I'm going to write it as plus 6e minus 3e. And I got these from this row here. Okay, they still add to give me my plus 3e here. I've just written them as their factors. Okay, and then of course I still need my minus 9. So grouping, just like we did earlier here in part B, let's group. Okay, so what's common between 2e squared and 6e? Well, there's definitely the 2 and there's definitely the e. And what's left over? E plus 3. What's common between here and here? Well, it's the minus 3 and then e. Okay, now the signs, just be careful with signs. So minus by what gives me a minus? Okay, well, when signs are different, I get a minus, so he has to be a plus, and 3 3s are 9. My brackets are the same, I'm happy. So the two terms on the outside, the 2e minus 3 goes into their own bracket, e plus 3 then into a bracket. So that's the top line factorized, that's the bottom line factorized. So then you just bring them together. So, okay, so we had 4e squared minus 9 over 2e squared plus 3e minus 9. We write it now with its factors. So 2e minus 3, 2e plus 3 was the top line. And the factors of the bottom line, 2e minus 3, e plus 3. Okay, so I've literally just replaced them with their factors. Okay, the bottom line, just replace them with their factors. And then you can cancel full factors. And when I say full factors, I mean full brackets. Okay, so there's a 2e minus 3, there's a 2e minus 3. Okay, why can I do that? Well, anything over itself always gives you 1. Okay, so therefore 2e minus 3 over 2e minus 3 is just 1. Okay, so that's why I can cancel it. Okay, now this looks like it should cancel, but you can't. Okay, you can't cancel the e plus 3 and the e plus 3 here to give you 2. It doesn't work like that. And it doesn't work like that because of the order of operations BOM-DAS. Okay, I have to multiply that e by 2 first and then add 3. It's not 2 times e plus 3. Okay, so that's what I mean by you can only cancel full brackets. So your answer is 2e plus 3 over e plus 3. Okay, and that's use factorization to simplify. And that's you done. So a great way of asking factorization. Factorize the top, factorize the bottom, put them over each other and cancel full factors. Okay, so that was part D. This was a long question. Let's continue. Part E said, a rectangle has sides of length x minus 3 and ax squared plus bx plus c, units where a, b and c are integers. Okay, and I know that from the log tables, which tells me all of my different number lines. Okay, so z is an integer. Okay, not that you had to really know that, but just when you know it, it doesn't scare you as much. The area of the rectangle is 2x cubed minus 13x squared plus 25x minus 12. find the value of A, the value of B, and the value of C. Okay, so with any rectangle, how do I get the area? Well, you go length by width. Okay, so if I had a square and its area was 24, seeing as we've used that all day, 24 centimeters squared, and I told you this side was 4, what would you do to find this side here? Well, you would go 24 divided by 4 to give you 6. Okay, so just in the same way, we know our area is this. If we divide it by the length, we're going to get the width. Okay, so when you're presented in your junior cert with a question like this that's a little bit difficult, especially the algebra questions, try and ask yourself, what would I do if it was a normal square with normal numbers? Okay, and most times, and nearly all times in algebra, you're doing the same thing. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm going 2x squared all right, 2x cubed minus 13x squared plus 25x minus 12, and I'm dividing it by x plus 3. Okay, so make sure now you look back on the 2019 or 2018 question. 2019 I think had one of these that we did nice and slowly to make sure that you're okay with it. Okay, so what must I multiply by x to bring it up to 2x squared? Well, I need a 2 for sure, and I need 2 more of the x's. Okay, and then I multiply that by both terms on the outside, so that I get 2x squared by x, 2x cubed, 2x squared by minus 3. Well, I'll get a minus 3 2's are 6x squared. Put a line under it, change the sign, Minus 13 plus 6 is 7x squared. And it's a minus because the minus numbers are bigger. Okay. And then take down the 25x, take down the 12 because I haven't used them, and do it again. What must I multiply by x to bring it up to minus 7x squared? Okay, I definitely need a minus, I need the 7, and I need an x. And then that gets multiplied by the x and the minus 3, just like we did with the 2x squared. And I get minus 7x squared. Minus by minus is a plus, 7 3's, 21x. Change the sign, And you know you're good when you start cancelling every line you want to cancel over a term, okay? Plus 25x minus 21x is 4x. I haven't used the minus 12 yet. And do it again. Okay, what must I multiply by x to bring it up to 4x? Well, plus 4. I don't need an x up here because I already have it there. So plus 4 by x is 4x, plus 4 by minus 3 is minus 12. Change the sign, Okay, so I get my answer to be 2x squared. Your answer is always up the top, which is in the form, of course, ax squared plus bx plus c, which is here. Okay, so what is the value of a? And see that I'm taking all the signs with them. A is 2, B is minus 7, C is 4.